Hello, this is Targor. This is a Twitch stream, so it is not edited, so it's going to look like a Twitch stream. Welcome to my vision to World of Warcraft Classic Plus. The design direction of my vision to Classic Plus is substantially different from that of retail WoW, Circus Shadowlands, and the private servers Vanilla Plus is Turtle WoW. This is partially because it aims to fix Vanilla WoW's many problems first, flesh out polish will start in second, and add new content third. This is part of a playlist of videos. Check this video's description for a link to the playlist. The document displayed is my Vision Classic Plus, and its document version number is 1.5.15. All versions of the document are based upon patch 1.12.2 of WoW. If you just want to know about the general design direction of my Vision Classic Plus before you otherwise look into this, then watch the introduction video in this playlist, or read the document yourself and look at the list of major features. The link to the document is on my channel's About page. That, and I do not have a team of people, however. I need water. Good, I have it. That's better. That, and I do not have a team of people, or however, working with me to make an actual private server out of this. This is all your design thus far, and ain't done yet. Now then, first off, the agenda for negative PvP ranks before the execution. I generally want to implement negative PvP ranks, which involves being able to be attacked by anybody, anywhere, and at any time, unless you're in an instance, and vice versa, provided you're at the lowest rank. I want to implement negative PvP rank guilds. I want to create means by which negative PvP rank players can learn professions and class skills. I want to allow players of the lowest PvP rank to perform cross-faction collusion in certain kinds of grief and without being punched by a game master for because players can just spawn captain for it until he ends up if it matters that much. The negative PvP ranks of the Dishonored, rank -1, suffix, rank of the Exiled, rank -2, suffix, and Outlaw, rank -3, prefix shall be implemented into the game. In addition to banning people for reasons such as grief in their own faction, win trading, or making a cross-faction non-negative PvP rank mafia, as opposed to a single-faction non-negative PvP rank, or cross-faction negative rank mafia, which are both okay. Think that Devil Sword Mafia is like a vanilla classic. Anyways. Oh, wait. Like on Australia, it's actually. Like on Australia. I forget if they're in a vanilla classic. Anyway, it'll some... No, now I remember they were in vanilla classic too. Anyways, it'll sometimes be more appropriate for game masters to lower the defender's PvP rank, kind of like they're on the faction leader on them, potentially lowering it to a negative PvP rank. Yeah, so that some players, the demotion would be more punishing than the temporary ban. I have already recorded a bunch of videos today, by the way, in a row, right before this one. So yeah, I'm kind of tired right now. However, Game Master shout out to the emote players for dropping an Infernal Ascent on the level 7 of the opposing faction. So the emotions are only applied at ranking resets. More on that in the PvP ranking system video, which I already recorded. Players of a negative PvP rank are not allowed to do battlegrounds until they reach rank 0. If they're in a battleground upon demotion, then they'll be allowed to stay in it until the battleground ends. Though, I actually forget how battlegrounds ending during a ranking reset, being around during a ranking reset is going to work. I'm not sure if I can define that yet. Anyway, we'll get to that later. Define how BGs work when a ranking reset occurs during the BG. Players with a rank of 0 who manage to have at least 5 dishonorable kills during a ranking calculation, if they lose enough rank to go below 0% of rank 0, shall be set to rank -1, the Dishonored. The specifics of rank -1, the Dishonored, the effects that are incurred upon the player. You shall be set to 500 to 3,000 to 500 out of 3,000 neutral reputation for your own faction and their allies, such as the Raven Tusk Trolls and Stormpike Guard. And you shall be hard capped to 29.99 out of 3,000 neutral at the high end, and 0 to 3,000 neutral at the low end. Quests that are offered by their faction and destroy their allies shall grant to player 5% of the normal reputation gains, rounded down to a minimum of 1. For quests that give reputation for both an alliance/horde faction and a non-alliance/horde faction, such as the Steam Widow Cartel, cities, the reputation gain for the non-alliance/horde factions will be unaffected. You cannot buy rank-based PvP gear. You must pay double for all services offered by your faction. But not by, like, the goblins or however. Or the Cenarion Circles, or Cineracle, or the Timor Furbolgs, etc. Whatever they sell to a vendor of their faction, the stuff shall be bought at half the normal price. Their faction, of course, includes the other capital cities of your faction. So not just your racist faction. If you are at 2,999 at 3,000 neutral with your faction, when a rank calculation occurs, you will be promoted to rank 0. If you're at rank 0 3,000 neutral when a ranking calculation occurs, you'll instead be demoted to rank -2, the exiled. Yeah, the exile. As exception, wait, hold on. Where was I? Here's my cursor. If a player ranks up from the dishonored, the reputations of the factions will not be set to what they were before they first fell to the negative PvP rank. You have to work your way back up again. Many non-player characters in your allied factions may say different things than they otherwise would when you speak to them. Among these things will be that guards will refuse to give you directions when you ask them for directions. By the way, you can do that in Vanilla WoW and Vanilla Classic. As exceptions to the above, being at rank -1 sets the reputations of the Warsaw Gulch, Irafi Basin, and Alterac Valley factions of your faction to 0 3,000 neutral, which will not go up for any reason until you reach rank 0 or higher, at which point it will still be 0 3,000 neutral until you do something to increase it. You shall be automatically kicked out of your guild as if you were in a negative PvP rank guild and cannot join those negative PvP rank guilds anymore. Guild members will automatically be notified of their reason via an automated message in guild chat and in-game mail. All players of rank -2 and rank -3 will be removed from your friends list, and you cannot re-add them until they reach rank -1 or higher. Though you should only be able to have one on your friends list in the first place if you're at a lower rank and then reach the rank of the Dishonored. Got promoted to the Dishonored. Players who manage to have your reputation of unfriendly if any of your allied factions during the ranking reset will have their PvP rank be lowered to the exiled, even if they are at rank 15, and if they are hostile or hated, then they'll instead become outlaws. Rank -2 specifics, that is, the exiled. He shall be set to 500 out of 3,000 unfriendly reputation of your own faction and your allies upon being exiled, and will be hard capped at 2,999 out of 3,000 unfriendly at the high end, and 0 to 3,000 unfriendly at the low end. Hey, wait a second. I just realized that this part is contradictory. So I'm just deleting it. I probably forgot to delete that from an earlier version. Anyways, rank -2 specifics, the exiled. I already said the first part. For quests that give reputation for both an Alliance/Horde faction and a non-Alliance/Horde faction, the Alliance/Horde faction reputation gain will be reduced by 95%. So, for example, a quest obtained from a Steebwheel cartel member that also gets Horde rep, the Horde rep will be reduced by 95%. You shall be attacked if you attempt to enter any town, city, or settlement of your faction, even including the Bulwark, in particular the border between the Western Plaguelands and Tirisfal Glades. If you remember the Horde, anyway. I mean, though in that case, it only affects the Horde, rather. If you're at rank 2,999 at 3,000 unfriendly, if your faction when a ranking calculation occurs, you shall reach rank -1. If you're at rank 0 3,000 unfriendly, when a ranking calculation occurs, you'll reach rank -3. Players of rank -2 may not enable at war if the factions that they are exiled from, but they may attack guards and such that attack them. When an NPC of the faction that you were exiled from damages or debilitates you, your name shall turn red to all players and vice versa until 5 minutes have passed since the aggroing said NPCs, should you not have damaged or debilitated a player or NPC of the faction that you were exiled from since then. You cannot spawn at any non-neutral graveyard. Neutral graveyards are graveyards that are not associated with Alliance or Horde settlements. The design note, being hostile to all Alliance/Horde NPCs means no more flight paths. Players who attack you will never get automatically flagged. You may no longer use your X faction's mailboxes, but you can use Goblin mailboxes if you're not hated by them. You'll be automatically guild kicked and cannot join a regular, non-negative PvP rank guild anymore. Guild members will be automatically notified of your reason via an automated message in guild chat and in-game mail. You may create or join a negative PvP rank guild. Everyone will be removed from your friends list, and you cannot re-add them unless they reach rank -2 or lower. Design note. Also, you can't join negative PvP rank guilds anymore either. Can't join non-negative PvP rank guilds anymore either if you're a rank -2. Anyway, however, a rank -2, you may create or join a negative PvP rank guild. Everybody will be removed from your friends list, and you cannot re-add them unless they reach rank -2 or lower, or you reach rank -1 or higher. You may add people rank -2 or rank -3 to your friends list if they are in your former faction. You cannot group with players of rank -1 or higher, and you're not allowed in the local defense channel. Ooh, speaking of which, and you'll be kicked from their group. Any group that contains any of them. Got rid of a few negative PvP rank exploits. That'll go into change log for the next version. And lastly, for rank -2, the exiled, you are not allowed into the local defense channel. For rank -3, outlaw, you shall be set to 500 out of 3,000 hostile reputation for your former faction and your allies upon becoming an outlaw. These reputations are hard capped to 2,999 out of 3,000 hostile at the high end, and those reputations can be lowered to 0 to 3,600 hated. If they are at 299 out of 3,000 hostile with their own faction, when a ranking calculation occurs, they'll be promoted to rank -2, the exiled. For quests that give reputation for both an alliance sword faction and a non-alliance sword faction, the alliance sword faction reputation will be reduced about 85%. Bounties shall be put on their heads. See bounty hunting below. You cannot spawn at any non-neutral graveyard. You shall be hostile to all non-player characters of your former faction, and as such shall be attacked on sight by them if they are not civilians, while civilians will instead call for guards. You may attack any player, flagged or not. Do note that negative PvP ranks will only exist on RP and RP PvP servers. Speaking of which... Oh, that's right. This entire section only applies to PvP and RP PvP servers. Note that most of the section will lack explanation scenes that many changes there are based off of gut feelings. Anyways, back to Exile specifics. You may attack any player, flagged or not, if you're an outlaw. If you're ranked -3. You may be attacked by any player, flagged or not, and they won't get flagged for it. You may no longer use your former faction's mailboxes. You may create or join a negative PvP rank guild. You may add people ranked -2 or -3 to your friends list if they are in your former faction. You may not group with players of rank -1 or higher. You may not use a local defense channel, and you may no longer initiate duels or be dueled by players of higher ranks because they would not trust you to fairly abide by the rules of the duel, that is, not kill the guy. If you win. Players with negative PvP ranks do not lose or gain rank normally, as it's stated above. Reputation gain / loss with your faction or former faction and your allies while you're at a negative PvP rank outside of quests shall be as follows. Killing a guard of a non-grade level of the opposing faction will grant you 1 reputation. Killing a player of the opposing faction of a non-grade level of rank -1 or higher will grant you 1 reputation. Killing a faction leader of the opposing faction will grant you 500 reputation, or if you're at rank -1, the Dishonored, it'll instead set you to 2,999 out of 3 as a neutral. Receiving a dishonorable kill will lower your reputations by 5. All kills against players of your former faction of rank -1 or higher are dishonorable kills, regardless of the levels of the players involved. Killing a guard or other not particularly important non-player character of your former faction shall lower your reputations by 5. Killing civilians will also incur a dishonorable kill as normal. Killing a thematically significant non-player character of your faction, such as Siler Boulevard Dragon or Archer Hamel Rune Totem, shall set your rank to Outlaw. Killing a leader of your former faction will set your rank to Outlaw. Design out horde players on the quest to kill him will not be able to talk to him when you trigger the dialogue option to start to fight against other outlaws, since the guy is already hostile against him. I don't actually remember what that means. I'm just gonna delete this part. I don't even remember why it's here. I forgot to properly write that part down. Anyway, as stated above, if a player in a negative PvP rank guild reaches the rank of the Dishonored or higher, that player will be automatically guild kicked, and it cannot be reinvited until the player reaches the rank of the Exiled or lower. However, if the player is the guildmaster, a random player of the closest rank shall be promoted to guildmaster with a negative priority for players who have not been online during the last 2 weeks. That negative priority not superseding guild rank at all. Not superseding guild rank. If a player in a non-negative PvP rank guild, so a regular guild, reaches the rank of the Exiled or lower, and the player is the guildmaster, a random player of the closest rank shall be promoted to guildmaster with a negative priority for players who have not been online during the last 2 weeks. That negative priority not superseding guild rank. Content additions for negative PvP ranks and related changes. In some location, somewhere, there's going to be a pair of goblins in a small building, probably Tanaris, that sells guild cards and allows players at the rank of outlaw to create a guild that only allows players of the same form or faction who are exiled or outlaws into the guild. But they'll charge exorbitant fees for guild creation into the bards, because they can get away with it. There shall exist one class. Yes, even if you'll threaten its throats, how else are you going to make a guild? Anyway, there shall exist one class trainer for every class that's neutral to the Alliance and the Horde, and their enemies, and can teach level 1 to 60 spells to the relevant class. These class trainers charge triple the normal prices, however. The Paladin trainer in particular was exiled from the Alliance for what he believes should not have been counted as a war crime, and is, as an exception to the aforementioned neutrality, hostile to the Horde and Horde players of negative PvP ranks. Similarly, it's not so for the Shaman trainer. Negative PvP rank Shaman trainer. Anyway, there shall exist an Artisan trainer for alchemy, jewel crafting. Yes, I added jewel crafting to the game. More on that in a different video. Leatherworking, skinning, tailoring. And some guys somewhere will sell, but not drop, very, very expensive books that teach you Artisan First Aid, Heavy Major Bandage, Runeclaw Bandage, and Heavy Runeclaw Bandage. Also, make sure that it's possible for players with negative PvP ranks to learn Artisan Cooking. I'm not quite sure if you need a quest for Horde or Alliance for really trying to get it. And fishing, similarly not sure about if you need a quest to get it. And also said trainers will be neutral friendly to both the Alliance and Horde and players with negative PvP ranks. Now, the regulations to other negative factions for negative PvP rank players. The Syndicate really hates the Orcs due to the events of Warcraft 2. Because of this, it will not be possible for the Horde's races to gain reputation with the Syndicate. It shall be possible, however, for the Alliance to become friendly or even exalted with the Syndicate if they're outlaws. That is rank negative 3. The benefits of doing so, hold on, shall not be significantly more lucrative than becoming exalted of Bloodcell Buccaneers, although it is okay if they offer access to a variety of items whose item level requirements are similar to the levels of Syndicate NPCs in the Eastern Kingdoms. Excuse me, level requirements, not item level requirements. And of course, the reputation of the Syndicate, if it was higher than what state index, will drop to 0 to the other neutral if they reach rank negative 2, 0 to the other unfriendly if they reach rank negative 1, and 0 to 3,000 hostile if they reach rank 0 or lower, and will not be able to go above the relevant amounts until their PvP rank is accordingly lower. Having a negative PvP rank will also affect your Ravenhorde reputation in the same manner that it affects your reputation if you're a faction or X faction. I forgot what this part means, but I guess I'll revise it later. Sometime after this video. Anyway, bounty hunting. Bounty hunting, in sum, is intentionally something that only role players, real world players, non-player characters, and those on the receiving end shall give a damn about. All outlaws shall have a bounty placed on their heads at every ranking reset, and these bounties shall increase or decrease in size according to how many dishonorable kills they got last ranking resets, whether or not the bounty was actually claimed. In every capital city, there shall be a big poster board somewhere in a very conspicuous location that lists the bounties for the heads of every outlaw on each server, including those formerly of the opposite faction. Hold on. It is updated with each ranking reset. Killing an outlaw shall allow you to loot pocket changes if they are not only NPC of their level, if they have any change, and a piece of their flesh counts as a quest time and has standard quest time limitations, and no other possible loots. That is, you'll be able to loot it from their corpse. The flesh may be turned in any bounty collector. And in the capital city, once per ranking reset per player, who shall give you a reward for killing the player. Seeing as how being an outlaw puts a bounty on your head, this bounty will cause level 60 bounty hunter NPCs to periodically spawn on epic mounts instead of double normal run speed, within 8,100 yards of you based upon how many disarmable kills you got last ranking reset, and immediately put you in combat upon spawning until they reach you, and they shall despawn after 5 minutes of not being in combat, or being or when they die, of course, and will dismount as soon as they attempt to damage or debilitate you. And they all have nets with a 30-yard range and will chase you across all uninstanced parts of the continent, including even deep water, fatigue water. These bounty hunters will not spawn while you are in a dungeon or raid, nor if you are in stealth mode, prowling, or shadow belted, or invisible, and Alliance bounty hunters will not spawn in the Horde territories and settlements, while Horde bounty hunters will not spawn in Alliance territories or settlements. Either Alliance or Horde bounty hunters will spawn on you at random, and Alliance bounty hunters will appear as neutral to Horde non-outlaws, while Horde bounty hunters will appear as neutral to Alliance non-outlaws, and both shall appear as hostile to all outlaws, and the only loot that bounty hunters have is pocket change, as if they are not elite level 69 player characters, which they are. The rates at which bounty hunters will spawn on you, and the bounties themselves, are as follows based upon how many dishonorable kills you got last ranking reset. At 0 dishonorable kills, you have a 0.0625% chance every 20 to 40 seconds for 2 bounty hunters to spawn on you, and the reward for turning in such a bounty against you is 2 free alcoholic beverages. You can choose weak, regular, or strong beverages, but they both have to be the same kind. And 1 to 5 dishonorable kills, if you got 1 to 5 dishonorable kills last week, you'll have a 0.125% chance. 0.125% chance every 20 to 40 seconds for 3 bounty hunters to spawn. For 3 bounty hunters to spawn, and the reward is a half-off discount on all of your factions alcohol outside the auction house for a day. At 6 to 20 dishonorable kills, you have a 0.25% chance every 20 to 40 seconds for 4 bounty hunters to spawn, and a reward shall be half off of all of your faction alcohol outside the auction house for 3 days. And if you had 21 to 50 dishonorable kills last week, you have a 0.5% chance every 20 to 40 seconds for 5 bounty hunters to spawn, and the reward is a half off on all of your faction's alcohol outside the auction house for a week if your flesh is turned into the bounty collector. At 51 to 100 dishonorable kills, 1% chance for 6 bounty hunters every 20 to 40 seconds. Reward lasts for 2 weeks. 100 to 200 dishonorable kills, 2% chance every 20 to 40 seconds. You can read the rest of it if you want. So anyway, yeah. If you get a whole fucking lot of dishonorable kills, then you're probably going to log off for all next week. Unless you're a rogue. In which case, you're going to sneak from instance to instance. Very carefully. All of these discounts durations shall stack to a maximum of 2 years, and your price reduction shall stack multiplicatively with reputation and PvP rank discounts. The design intention here is that bounty hunters randomly spawn to kill you for being an outlaw in order to prevent outlaws from getting out of hand on any server, that is to prevent the wolves from killing too many sheep without consequences, real ones. But since bounties exist, players will have to be able to participate in the bounties. I do not want them to care about the rewards unless they're role players, lest degenerate gameplay arise and run rampant as a result of the rewards being given out this way. For example, if you got an 18-slot bag for killing an outlaw of over 1,000 dishonorable kills last week, then people would just make outlaw ults that farm other people to the 1 ults that are just made in order to feed kills to those outlaws, and then those outlaws would sit there and let anyone who doesn't have the bag, so people's ults, kill them once per week for a free 18-slot bag, and then it would run rampant across the server, make a large percentage of outlaws not be real outlaws, and thus it would devalue 18-slot bags to smaller ones, and negative PvP ranks, and the importance of negative PvP ranks in general, and that obviously would be bad for the game. However, the rewards in actuality are practically useless to non-role players because it's just booze. So that it fucking discount on booze, or a bit of free booze, so none of that shit's gonna happen. Other negative PvP rank specifications. The PvP flag of the outlaw shall not look like a standard Alliance or Horde PvP flag. It'll look like something else instead. Your display title shall always be your PvP rank while your rank is in the negatives, so no hiding your PvP rank from players with a Scarab Lord title, for instance. Game Masters shall not ban people for cooperating with the opposite faction to grief players and shall scout resources to the point of a literal monopoly if said people involved are all of the rank of outlaw. Outlaws are already hostile by default to every non-outlaw player of both factions, including other outlaws. So players of higher ranks can deal with them by spawn camping until they unsubscribe without being allowed to hurt half of them because of names of green, like in Vanilla Classic. Players of the Outlaw rank shall be allowed to grief other players in certain ways, and vice versa, such as polymorph griefing, spawn camping players for weeks on end, and tagging and killing their quest mods of other players, but not anything that involves real life. Without getting punished by a game master for doing those things, and a game master similarly shall not punish non-outlaws for doing those things to outlaws. It is part of the benefit of being an outlaw, and part of the punishment for being an outlaw. And that's all I got for negative PvP ranks. Now to get ready to do the races video, because I kind of feel... No, actually I'll do the races video tomorrow. Alright, thanks for watching, and see you later.